friends, it's Caitlin, and welcome back to the Floating Rock Podcast. I hope you're having the most incredible day ever. So, I first have to apologize. Oh my god, I was absent last week, and I am so sorry. For the real ones, I'm sure you missed it, but for the not real ones, hey! Anyway, I just moved back home from college, so I had a crazy hectic couple of weeks, and then I went straight onto a backpacking trip, which, I was off the grid, all that, and the timing didn't work out, and I did not have an episode to post. However, I will say, I tried to record an episode, and I did, and I was about to edit it, but I don't know, I turned it off, and I was like, I don't know, I wasn't in love with it, and with the pod and with the journey as a creative, because this is my own thing, I want to prioritize quality over quotas. So I don't know, I wasn't loving it. So hopefully you'll get that episode at some point in the pod's life. But yeah, it wasn't for that week. And yeah, let's just say I took a week off. Like, we love that. We love a work-life balance. But anyway, as you know by the title, today we're talking about the backpacking glow up. So like I just said, I went on a backpacking trip with my cousins and uncles. We did the Nepali Coast backpacking trip, and I did it last year as well. And it's just such a magical, incredible, awesome place, and I love it so much, and I love them so much, and the experience all in all was just incredible. And I also did another backpacking trip before I left California, somewhere a little bit above LA. It was in like Ojai, if you've ever been there before. That was also gorgeous and incredible and amazingness. Fun fact, I actually did the exact two same backpacking trips last year too, so maybe I'm a creature of habit when it comes to this, but it was just so fun. And haphazardly, as I was coming back and planning these trips, going on these trips, and before I went off the grid for 5 days, I think it was, Miss TikTok, there was this trend that started kind of happening called like the backpacking glow up. And I was like, oh, interesting. And basically it was these people posting videos from like before and then after a few months of like backpacking the world or whatever. Obviously not the case here exactly. So I'm not trying to say this is like a 1-to-1, but I was like, wait, what an interesting like stepping stone to make an episode off of. I feel like have I? Maybe. I don't know if I've ever like hopped on to like an internet trend on the pod, but I'm like, okay, that's topical, like maybe I'll make a reel, like that's so cute. But anyway, I was like, wait, this is all aligning gorgeously. So yeah, today's episode is about backpacking and kind of like the backpacking glow up, probably more mentally than physically. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. It's not necessarily any like crazy advice shit necessarily, but it's a lot of fun takeaways. But to explain the backpacking glow up, like I said, it was, people posting from before and then after they came back. And I took away like 3 bigger takeaways from all the videos I tried to watch and my research, if you will. But yeah, the 3 biggest takeaways I feel like from these backpacking glow ups before and afters were, number 1, everyone seemed a lot more confident. They either talked about it or they just looked it. A lot of them actually did physically glow up. I'd say from my experience, I don't know, last time I did the trip, I was like very ill, which was not good. So I did come back the most snatched I've ever been because I was sick and drinking so much water, but that wasn't necessarily healthy. So yeah, I think maybe for like the longer term backpacking trips, like there's a little bit more of a glow up because you're walking, you're drinking a lot of water, you're getting vitamin D. I do have a little bit more of a tan, which makes me so happy because pale Caitlin is not my favorite Caitlin in the world. But anywho, so I think there is a physical glow-up quality to it. Not necessarily what I'm going to be talking about today, but there is that aspect, especially for the people online, if you will. And lastly, everyone just looks so much happier, and I love that. And they talk about being happier. A big thing I notice is, like, they talk especially about, like, corporate America, and they're just like, me when I quit my job and went backpacking, and then all the comments are like, we just weren't meant to work 9 to 5, and like, okay, I technically agree with all that, but yeah, so interesting. If you haven't gotten these videos yet, it just might be my algorithm. I'm sure there's plenty of people who haven't gotten these, but yeah, if you are confused about what I'm talking about, just look up backpacking glow up or backpacking before and after, and you'll see what I'm talking about, or just hang around because it sounds fun and interesting. So anyway, the trip, just to give you a quick little recap, we did the Nepali Coast to Kalalau, and it's an 11-mile hike, and it's a little brutal. But then again, I'm not a big runner. I feel like in my head, running and like that kind of stuff is comparable to like long, treacherous hikes. So, it was a little bit of a moment, but that's okay. We love a struggle. It was weird because I think this time, fun fact actually, so last time, yeah, I was very sick. I had like a really bad sore throat and then like later stuffiness, all that loveliness, right? I had that the first time, and the second time, I got no sleep the night before. So I was like, okay, one day I'm gonna do this fully healthy, fully well slept. It's gonna be awesome. No, I had no caffeine. I don't know. One day I'm gonna feel awesome doing it. So far, I haven't though. But it's so gorgeous. And what was another funny thing, I think I'm going to bring this up a few times throughout the pod, maybe, but there is a really big difference between backpacking like in Hawaii or like, I guess, on an island versus on the mainland. And that is probably like one of the first ones, was just like, so far in my experience, the Pali Coast is so like into a valley, out of the valley, up a hill, down a hill, like through a stream, whatever. Like there's so much change in terrain and stuff. Whereas the trip I've did on the mainland, it was just straight, kind of like maybe a slight uphill, slight downhill, but so different. Like if Napoli Coast was a straight line 11 mile, you could cut off probably 2 hours, and it's actually insane how much of a difference that makes. So yeah, that was fun and interesting. But yeah, anyway, hiking was great. And yeah, so we stayed there for 5 days, 5 nights, and there was just so much like telling stories and just chit-chatting with everyone. I think it was 12 of us total. My cousins, uncles, all that. A lot of games we played. Like there's this card game called Phase 10. If you need a long ass card game to play, get Phase 10. It's really fun and like pretty simple too. We also played this crazy game of charades, which was interesting but also super fun. Had a bunch of hikes and swims. We did this one swim around like kind of a corner of the island to get to another little beach, and that was awesome and gorgeous. And that, I'll talk about that in a little bit too, but that was awesome. And just, went to swimming holes, jumped in the water, waterfalls, all that gorgeousness. Now I feel like I'm bragging. Oh my god. But yeah, it was so incredible, and I feel like I had some fun takeaways. On the note of just Kalalau and like Napali Coast as a place to go, like this is something I wrote down last year in my journal, but it is so crazy, just the energy of being somewhere where like the mountains are so close to the water. Everyone who goes says it's like it's a magical place, and like it is. And I don't know, it just feels like there's like a certain energy or like a mana to it that like you can just feel it. And there's just, I think because the ocean has so much energy and mountains have so much energy, and just being in a place where they're so close in proximity, I don't know, it's like this like weird synergy of all of that, and it's just so incredible. Anyway, that's enough raving from me. But on to the other takeaways that I had about kind of the more mental glow up that I feel like backpacking can give you. I'm gonna call it backpacking / camping, because honestly, like same but different. Like I don't feel like you need to put all your shit in one backpack and go somewhere and be like completely off the grid in the forest. While it is great, I think you can have a lot of the same takeaways from camping, especially for like a slightly extended period of time. Number one is something that I really hope to do, but I was looking at this trip as like a habit reset. So as we all know, I love a habit, I love lifestyle, I love all that stuff. And when you're off the grid, you have no phone, you have no internet, you have no like clean bathrooms and stuff, and like you waking up earlier with the sun, going to sleep earlier, like I don't know, all that kind of stuff. So I really wanted to take this opportunity, and I think if you ever go on like a backpacking trip or a camping trip, like maybe framing it like this, because I'm kind of enjoying that, of doing like a habit reset, because I think it's so easy to get into the habit of using our phones the amount and the way that we do, or using our sleep schedules, and just there's so many things that we do in normal life that when you're reset like that, I don't know, it's almost like you can take advantage of that being your new normal and then bringing it back into your everyday life. And obviously it doesn't last forever, you'll probably have to do it again to get that reset, but some of the specific habits I want to take away from that trip and bring back into my real life are definitely number one, the phone. What did I even use my phone for when I was there? Actually, I'm just going to talk about it now. So Starlink, if you haven't heard of it, it's like this thing that I think fucking Elon Musk did. I don't even know. But it's now you have service anywhere in the world. I think the slogan is like anywhere you can see the sky, you have service. And that's crazy. And it was really wild that last year that wasn't a thing. And I was just talking to my cousin. I was like, oh my God, like 2024 may have been the last year you could be truly off the grid. Like, isn't that insane? Like, that's crazy to me. Because now, like, some of my cousins were, like, texting people, like, just, like, their friends or whatever. I'm like, that is so crazy. I chose to, like, fully opt into the vibe of, like, I'm not using my phone, like, I'm off the grid. But, like, really all I kind of used my phone for was, like, writing down notes if I had any thoughts and using my camera and looking at my camera roll. Like, that's kind of all you could do. It was kind of crazy. I don't know. I just wanted to, like, touch on that because I think that's, like, wild that that's a thing now. And it made me think about, like, our kids, if you're my age, that our kids, I feel like that's going to be one of the things that they don't understand about what it was like back in the day. Like, we think about how on earth did you do research with an encyclopedia? Like, how did you function without the internet? I think they're going to be like, what do you mean you couldn't text from anywhere? Like, what do you mean you couldn't text on a plane? Like, what? Like, okay. Anyway, crazy. So, back to my point, though, about the habits. I loved how, we all know I talk about Screen Zen all the time, my, like, screen time app thing to, like, keep you off of social media. But it was a really nice reset to, like, really get off my phone and not need that dopamine hit and not need that connection with, like, everyone and anyone, you know? So that was really cool. And I hope to take that into my life now, especially, like, when it comes to, like, before bed or, like, right when you wake up. I was, like, reading before bed every night, and that was really nice. And it's crazy, like, you think, oh, if I go on my phone before bed, like, yeah, I'll just, like, knock out. But I'm like, you fall asleep even faster when you're reading. And I'm just like, girl, like, keep it up. So that's one thing, is being on my phone less. And just, like, I remember the second we came back to society and, like, I turned on my service, literally I was like, my anxiety, like, spiked, like, my heart rate, like, if I was wearing, like, an Apple Watch or something, like, you would see it just, like, skyrocket, because, like, answering texts is so stressful. Okay, but anyway, yeah, so habit of just not being on your phone as much as we normally are, and I think that's always a habit we all want, but it was nice to, like, set that as a norm and then, like, see how much I can keep it. And then secondly, I kind of just mentioned it, but, like, reading, we all know I'm on my reading journey. I'm not necessarily gifted in that category, but that was nice to, like, also create that as a norm for me. Like, when I'm on the beach, reading, before bed, reading. I tried to do it one morning, like, after I woke up. However, reading does make me tired, so I did fall back asleep. But yeah, I really want to get on my reading grind. I got some good book recs on the trip as well, so I want to try and read those. I'll actually tell you guys now. Book recs from my cousin Kiki, who is a very smart and well-traveled, well-rounded, I don't know, worldly person, I'd say. She recommended to me the 4 Agreements. They're all a little bit self-helpy, but that's kind of what I like. So if you like that, look into it. Number 1, the 4 Agreements. Number 2, the Defining Decade. It's about, you know, like your 20s kind of. And then the 4 Agreements, I think, is about, like, self-freedom is, I think, the way that they pitched it, but, you know, very self-helpy. And then lastly, Atomic Habits. We all know. I still haven't read that, though. Isn't that insane? I need to get that book and read it. But anywho, that's another habit. Another habit, though, is, like, the waking up early. I did go to sleep a little bit later last night, but I wanna keep it up. Like, I loved being able to, like, oh my God, like, the day that we did the swim around the island, we were back and eating again. We ate a lot. Oh my God. That's like a Chong thing, though. Like, Chongs eat a lot. But we were back from that whole adventure, and it was like 9:30. Are you kidding me? Like, that's insane. I'm never done with anything by 9:30. So that was also inspiring to attempt to keep up, is just going to bed early, waking up early, and just, I love the idea of having more time in my day, because I'm not, like, a big night person. Like, in my head, when it's dark, I'm like, ooh, what, I can't do anything anymore. I don't know. I don't like the dark. Oh, on the note of that swim, though, like, while we're here, and on the note of, like, the confidence, like I was telling you guys, that a lot of people felt, I think for a lot of people, the backpacking journey and just, like, doing that is just getting out of your comfort zone. And I think I've talked about confidence and all that before, but I truly think that the biggest confidence builder of going backpacking is you're just doing things out of your comfort zone. And when you surprise yourself and go out of your comfort zone like that, like, talk to new people, make new connections, like, try something new, try something scary, like, all those things, I think that really builds your confidence. And, like, I think that for me was doing the swim, because I'm not, like, a I'm not like on the swim team or anything. Like, I'm okay. But, you know, that was a little bit of a push for me. And definitely I'd say last year it was harder because of the current and everything. So that was nice to have it be a little easier this year. But I think that was going out of my comfort zone for me, was doing that swim. I think it was like a quarter mile. I don't know. Yeah, so that was really cool. And I felt a nice confidence boost after that. That like, look, Caitlin, like you had some doubts and that was scary, but you did it and you're fine. And you come out stronger. And we love that. And honestly, like, kudos to the people who swim, because like that's a lovely feeling after you're done. It's like kind of like runner's high, and I liked that. But I don't like swimming enough to like swim more often like that, like an athletic workout swim. Not for me. But so yeah, on the note of confidence, I just feel like being out in nature and being maybe with whoever you're with, being by yourself, if that's how you decide to do it. I just think that backpacking, camping, like doing these things in nature, it gives you such a big confidence boost, because you're not in your house, you're not in your home, you're not in a hotel, like you're inherently outside of your comfort zone, and it's just such a lovely confidence boost in any way that you kind of gain it. Yeah, and then even like I noticed when it came to actually both of the hikes this year around, I noticed I was really scared. Guys, if you're from Hawaii, you know that like hiking on the mainland is fucking freaky, because here we have no like big predators. Like, you're not going to run into a bear or a bobcat or like a cougar or like, I don't know, like, or a snake. I'm not into that. But I found that like this year doing it again, I was so much less like on my toes and like scared and antsy, which was so cool, because like I knew I had done it before, I can do it again, everything was fine, I was safe. And same with the Pali Coast. There's like a little bit of a sketchy part that like I was pretty anxious about leading up to it, but then this year going, like I wasn't even nervous about it at all. And just like, I don't know, when you do new things and go out of your comfort zone, you truly do build so much confidence. And you can put that into any part of your life, honestly. And you don't have to like go into the woods. Like, you can go out of your comfort zone anywhere, anytime, and it truly does build your confidence so much. This was like one of the biggest ones though, and it was just so cool. But the gratitude that it gives you is actually insane, because number one, if you're in a place as beautiful as that, you just are so grateful for Earth and for being in that present moment, getting to be there. But I guess kind of more unique to my experience, and maybe unique to your experience when you go, if you've gone, but like who you're with. Like, I truly, like the words that were going through my head like as we were like going on random day hikes or just like laying at the beach or doing whatever, was, I am the luckiest girl in the world. True, granted, I am quite lucky, I will say that. But I don't know, just being out there with all of my family and being in such a beautiful place that I also get to kind of call home. I know Kauai is not my home island, but you know, still, it was just, I was full of so much gratitude, and that was like incredible. And I think that could also be a plus of going and backpacking or camping somewhere that is maybe close to home, and it can give you maybe some more gratitude for where you actually are, or going somewhere far away and it can just give you gratitude for how big the world is and how much there is to see and people to meet. But truly, like, that was one of the most overwhelming feelings this entire trip, because you also aren't getting distracted by your phone or by work or just by everyday life. Like, I am the luckiest girl in the world was like what was running through my head the entire trip. So I feel so grateful to even get to say that. But I just thought I'd share here because, I don't know, it's a good reminder of gratitude for me, for everyone else. And you don't have to be on a remote beach on Kauai to feel like you're the luckiest girl in the world. You can be doing literally anything, any time of day. And I hope that you get to feel that. And I hope I continue to feel that kind of gratitude just throughout my life. And I don't know, it's just, gratitude is fucking incredible. Oh, another thing I thought was interesting was just boredom was kind of like reframed, and I fucking loved that. And I guess you could put that into the habits bucket as well. But the amount of time that we just spent kind of laying, chilling, and just like staring at the water, staring at the mountains, just having conversations that like weren't necessarily the most deep things in the whole world, but just what you think of, like, being in my house now, I'm like, I know what boredom is in my house. But being there, I'm just like, you could just sit back and somehow you're not bored. It actually reminded me of a conversation I had with my grandpa once. I think I just asked him, like, so, like, what have you been doing recently? Or just, like, what do you like to do? And he's just like, I just really like to sit and just take it all in. I'm like, girl, get him on a pod. Maybe I will. But it just reminded me of that. And I I don't know, it was really cute to like get to reframe what boredom is. I think with our phones and the constant gratification of likes and comments and texts and calls and lists and freaking all that stuff, it can be so easy to just get bored because of all that constant stimulation. But it was really nice to like reset what boredom is. And I still feel like I have some of the lasting effects now. Like I could just lay on my bed right now and stare at the ceiling and I think I'd be okay, which is a nice feeling. So I think that's a huge benefit too of the backpacking, camping kind of journey, is reframing what boredom is for you. And it really like resets your brain. It resets your dopamine levels of like, I don't need all this crazy stuff to just be content. I also will say another thing, as someone who's like hyper productive, if you will, like I love getting shit done, all that. I made it a point to like not think about the real world. Like obviously I'm moving home, like there's so much to think about, like what job I want to get, what routine I want to have, like all that stuff. And I am very proud of myself that I didn't think about that. And if and when you go on your trip, or just you find yourself at the beach one day, whatever, really try not to think about the real world, because it was so nice to just, I don't know, just kind of not stress myself out and think about all of the potential responsibilities I have, because you can't do anything about it when you're there. So like, why stress yourself out about it anyway? But yeah, I was really proud of myself for doing that and just committing to the bit of I'm here to be off the grid and relax and spend time with my family and hang out with myself. And yeah, that made me really happy. But yeah, I think that's kind of most of it for now. I just thought I'd share with you my experience on my last backpacking trip, and it is a little bit on trend right now. But I really do encourage you. It's summer now, like go on a backpacking trip, go on a camping trip. I was surprised about how easy it was, especially like the one-nighter in California. It's not too hard. I think that anyone can do it. I think the girlies can do it. And yeah, I think maybe if you don't have people around you who are super well versed in it, the internet's a great place. Like TikTok is a great place. And like there's so many great recommendations too. Great places to find good camping gear, or maybe good life hacks, or maybe good recommendations of places to go. Like there's so many ways to get into it now, I feel like. And I definitely think this is a bigger goal of mine too, is like I want this to be a bigger part of my life, and that's a hobby I'm really happy I've like started to pick up. And yeah, I love a camp. I love a backpacking trip. Like that's so fun. And I really hope that this summer everyone gets to do something like that, even if it's just a really long day at the beach or something. But yeah, I just feel very grateful right now. And I think the impending real life is kind of coming back. I just got back last night when I'm recording this, but yeah, I feel very grateful for both of those experiences. And I really encourage you to go on a little trip and get to know yourself better. Spend time with some of your favorite people, and spend time with yourself, and spend time in nature, because she's lovely. We love Miss Nature. Get some sun, get some vitamin D. And yeah, it is also just such a great way to like get to know people better. Like I think a lot of the time with our families, you have your go-to, you see them at events, or you see them at Christmas parties or all that kind of stuff, or at dinner or whatever. But you know, when you're out there for so long with no distraction, like you truly get to have some fun, interesting conversations and get to know people on a level that you may have not in the first place. And that's also one of my favorite parts, because we all know I love to yap. But yeah, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that some of my takeaways were interesting and fun, and maybe inspired you to, I don't know, think about them in your real life, or maybe go on a little backpacking trip yourself. But yeah, I'm happy to be back on the mic. But yeah, I think that's all for me. See, I always like to love bomb at the end, but I hope your guys' summer is going well. Maybe I'll do like a summer themed episode soon. But yeah, love and light, so much luck headed your way. You're gonna have the luckiest summer of your life, and you're gonna have so much fun, and you're going to have your own summer glow up, whether it's mentally, physically. You're gonna be in the sun, you're gonna be reflecting, you're gonna be hanging out with people. This summer is gonna be great, and I hope that you make it great, and I hope that I make it great so I can come back and tell you about it, and we can have a really fun little pod moment, and we can hang out every Tuesday. And I'm so excited. This is a new chapter of my life personally, maybe for you as well. Or just it's a new season and you can have some fun reset for yourself. Okay, look, I'm love bombing. Shut up, Caitlin. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll be back next week. Love and light. Bye-bye.